Hiya YouTube, Cambams here. I've been turned on to this idea by this guy called Musty1 into building or rebuilding, small projects that other people have given up on. So what I really needed was a new ride-on lawnmower. This way I don't need to, count on my old one that breaks down from time to time to do everything, towing grass, also snow blowing and things like that, because it's kind of a pain, to be honest, switching stuff around all the time. And then in the event that something does go foul, I don't really like taking the time with the thing down while I'm waiting for parts. So with that, I went out today and I got an excellent deal, I think, on a relatively recent ride-on mower. I like it. It's got a 46-inch deck, which is nice, and the guy's lawn mechanic told him he needs an engine. So I'm going to test this out in the Musty fashion and determine that for myself, and I thought I'd bring you guys along with me. So there it is. It's still on the U-Haul. I haven't really looked at it at all. I just kind of threw it in there and I dragged it home. It wasn't that far away, which was lucky. The thing ultimately, I mean, it looks dirty, but it did come with the two-bag grass catcher, which is nice. The seat's not ripped. It's got the key that's not bent, unlike mine. And then, it is what it is. I guess I'm going to pull it down. I'm going to give you guys a review of my taking this down in case anything funny happens. Alright, now that it's down, we can have a look at it together. So this bagger, right, is only a dual. I have a triple on mine, but I do think that this one looks very decent, and in a sense it's better because it's not cracked like mine, and it doesn't use up the tow hitch, right? So if you want to tow the trailer, you don't necessarily have to take the whole bagging apparatus off, which is really nice. The wheels and tires, they seem to be holding air. Like, I don't know if he just filled them up and I came. Let's look under the hood. I mean, all in all, I think if I wash this thing real good, it's gonna shine up pretty well. There it is. It's a Intech Plus 540cc, 20 horsepower. Now, is that really 20? What do I really care? My other one says it's 21 horsepower. And it's fine for mowing the lawn and doing the little towing jobs and whatnot. But it looks pretty filthy. A lot of oil. Looks like it might have been a lot of blow-by, something to that effect. But I'm gonna, get into it in the normal fashion. We'll charge with the battery a little bit, which I assume is under here. Yep. And how old is it? Looks old. I don't see a date. Well, we'll try charging it up and see what we get. You never know. One of the very first things I did notice in here is, well, apparently somebody was living in there. That doesn't sound great. Not great at all. I'm thinking this might be a rod issue, but I'll have to look further before I determine that. Let's see how much oil it's got in it. It's got a lot of oil on it. The oil looks good. Not even that black. What could have happened here is something could have built a nest in there. It could have made the thing overheat and just ran it until she broke. Oh yeah. Do you see what I see? I see. Looks like the rod must have tried to exit the block, and it made a nice crack. See, the bottom end of this thing is toast. I'll take a look if it's got a good cylinder head and whatnot, and you know, the starter and all that kind of stuff is good. Maybe I could just do a short block and have a like new mower, you know. I figure take a look at the air cleaner and carburetor and whatnot, just to see if that stuff looks like it's usable. Well, not necessarily the air filter, but you know, mostly the carburetor itself. If it's dirty, that's not a problem. I can always clean it out. And the filter looks like it was replaced recently. It's a lot cleaner than mine. And the carburetor itself, it's a little oily, but all in all, it looks pretty good. Oh, this fuel line is done. And it's the least of my worries at this point, isn't it? Alright, I'll be back when I have another idea. Okay, so what I've done is I took off the 20 horse cover just to have a look underneath, see if I could figure out what made this thing blow up. Well, take a looky here. So it looks to me like Mouse was having fun living in here, and then he probably ran the motor, it overheated, and he didn't follow any warnings of smoke or anything, so it blew the rod out. I took off the carburetor, obviously, and I've got that cleaning right now. The carburetor is actually an original Nicky. It doesn't look like it was ever touched or moved. I have a feeling this mower was probably bought new and just run, and probably never ever maintained at all whatsoever. I haven't found a hint of anything new on it, including the oil filter. I think that was original equipment. So what I've decided to do, though, rather than repair this one, I'm going to steal all the good parts off it, since I do have actually two of these. I have one over there as well. So never mind the old grudge car I have sitting right here. That's going to be a later video. But the thing is, these engines, I saw one used going for $300, but it was like very used. And then I saw one for $350 that looked a little bit better, and I'm like, but these are like 10 years old. So I took a look on Amazon. I found they were selling brand new 19 horse engine for 500 bucks delivered. So I'm like, you know what, that would make sense, because I'm not going to be flipping this thing. I want to use it to you know, mow my lawn, and I have a pretty decent amount of lawn to mow. So this will be getting a brand new 19 horse. And what's funny is this thing says it's a 20 horse, so do you think I was going down a horsepower? My other one over there actually is 21 horsepower. Yeah. See, and this here is my Craftsman Platinum 21 horsepower. And that's the engine. That one's been maintained quite well. You can see the the carburetor is almost spotless on it, because I just cleaned that recently. The body's not rusty or anything. This one, I do see some rust that's been starting on it, but essentially what I'm getting at here is that the engines, they're all the same. So the 19 horse, the 20 horse, and the 21 Platinum engine, They apparently got sued, and in 2010 we're giving people back $75 per tractor because apparently they were just putting different horsepower numbers on them and charging different amounts. So they got in trouble for that. That's why you can no longer buy a 21 horsepower single cylinder or a 20, only a 19, because I think they all agreed to measure it some other way. So anyway, I'll be back when I've got more info. Here we go. So I got a little more progress done on this thing. The blown up motor is now not there anymore. I put it over here for now. I'm going to have to find a nice pan to drain out what's left of the rotten oil in there. And then I'm going to pull that sucker apart so we can see the carnage that's inside. I am going to keep a whole bunch of the parts depending on whether they're still good. Like the cylinder head might still be good. You know, obviously the starter's still good. And then you know, there's a bunch of good bolts in there, which will be nice. Then there's the flywheel. I mean, it's just, you know, it's basically a whole engine minus the bottom end. So in the event that I ever run into another mower that's got that stuff good, and with that stuff, any of that stuff bad, I can replace it for free. But this thing is really quite messy. I think I'm going to grab the power, clean her up, and then I've got some unboxing to do because a new engine came in today, and the poor FedEx guy did not look too happy carrying this thing. He should have had a hand truck or something. Anyway, I figured that people might be interested in what I use to do this kind of cleaning. I like pressure washers. I have a mechanical one that's really powerful and great and all, but it's very loud. This thing I really like in that it's not very loud, and it only makes noise when I'm pulling the handle. I'll show you what I mean. I mean, it's as simple as that. I mean, and as soon as I let go of the trigger, my ears are not humming anymore. So that's why I got one of these. I mean, I think I paid 80 bucks out the door, which I've already cleaned so many things with this, and it, you know, so far has lived. It's from a Harbor Freight, so you never know. But I would say that the little Portland 1750 PSI for doing things like cleaning wheels and dirty garden equipment and, you know, cleaning up your patio and whatnot, it's fine, and it's, you know, a little less annoying. Okay, so here we are now, about, I don't know, 10 minutes after I started cleaning the thing. I got it definitely clean enough to put an engine in it anyway. Unfortunately, I did notice there's a teeny bit of rust. Let's see, I'm not sure if you can see that there. Yeah, you probably can. Right behind where the foot goes. It looks to me like they never cleaned up like the sticks and the leaves and whatnot that got into footwells, and they just stomped all over them, because there's scratches on this one too. And if I don't do some neutral rust on there, it's probably gonna rust out and not be happy. So I want to keep this thing for a while. And if those rust out, that'd be bad. So I think I'm going to fix that up after I get it running and driving. I'm going to do some more beautifying. I'll be back.